This podcast is part of the Global Sports Podcast Network, the only network bringing you exclusive daily news and views on your Premier League team, the Premier League, women's football, and fantasy football. A unique listening experience that puts fans first, bringing you the very latest breaking news from your team. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts and make us your first listen every day. The Global Sports Podcast Network. Every club, every day.
Every club, every day. The Global Sports Podcast Network.
Hello, you are listening to the Daily Liverpool and Daily Premier League podcasts on the Global Sports Podcast Network. As I just stopped that ad from replaying. My name is Louie, Easton. We got a lot to uncover today. It's all going to be Liverpool. Two very, very big talking points this week. One of them is, of course, a loss at Chelsea, and the other is the expected departure of Trent Alexander-Arnold at the end of the season. Confirmed now. We know it's going to happen. He posted that stupid Instagram post that I'll get into plenty later, and we will have Karl Kopach giving his verdict as well, which is always a joy. Hearing his voice. He knows a lot about football. But we will uncover that Chelsea-Liverpool match first. We won't do it in a great amount of detail because I think it doesn't need too much detail. There were 4 goals, and I mean, Liverpool are playing like they've already won the league. There's a reason for that. We have already won the league, and we're starting to get some rotation in, and players are getting minutes. Let's get into it. The reason we lost is because we are playing players that don't look like they've had a lot of minutes this season. And they are playing like they haven't had a lot of minutes this season. Because they haven't had a lot of minutes this season. And we've thrown them into a sort of hangover state where we won the league last week at Anfield against Spurs. And, you know, what a moment that was. And we're sort of still basking in the glory of that. But the players didn't turn up at Stamford Bridge, and I would be very concerned if we hadn't already won the league. This was not the same Liverpool team that battered Spurs last week. This is a team that are playing just for fun now. It looked like an MLS match, or a Saudi match, one of them. So credit to Chelsea. I mean, they completely came out guns blazing. They scored in 3 minutes. Enzo Fernandez, one of the best midfielders in the league this season, getting a goal. The captain came off right at the end for Reece James as well. And I thought he was stunning. His play, I mean, if it wasn't for Caicedo and Palmer, he would have been the best player. Maybe even Lavia as well. He would have been the best player on the pitch. And, I mean, just listen to these stats. He got 0.65 expected goals. He still scored. He created 2 chances. He's got 10 points on Fantasy Premier League, which is the most important stat. So if you did have Enzo Fernandez in your team, well done you. And it was just a completely different Liverpool side. It was an unrecognisable midfield. Harvey Elliott finally started, something that we have all been crying out for all season. And he got subbed off after 70 minutes, and he really didn't look that great. He had 2 shots that were inside the box. Neither of them were, even threatening the goal. 3 touches in the opposition box, only 3 passes into the final third, which is something that he's so good at. He only had 1 successful dribble. I mean, what you could say is he wasn't actually dispossessed all match, but I mean, he just didn't really add much into that final third. He didn't add that sort of direct incisiveness, that cutting inside and shooting. You start to wonder, is he better in the middle or is he better out on the right wing? Because if he's better out on the right wing, he's toast. He's not going to get any minutes. Mohamed Salah's just signed another 2 years. He didn't have a great match either. He was fouled 3 times, which is something that you can say in his defence. But, I mean, it just wasn't a great showing for Salah. Not like last week. Again, I thought Cody Gakpo was excellent. I think he was very unlucky not to get a goal or an assist because he was very direct on that left-hand side, cutting in, shimmying across. I mean, you can kind of telegraph what he's going to do, but he does a fantastic job on that left-hand side. Diogo Jota did his usual of nothing. He presses well, but I mean, he doesn't get anywhere near the ball, which is what you need as a striker. It's a non-negotiable, really. We all know his quality. He scored that fantastic goal against Everton a few weeks ago. We all thought he was back then, but absolutely nothing since then. Just a pathetic performance again from Jota. Wataru Endo looked good. I thought he was probably the best out of our midfielders who started. Virgil van Dijk, we all know what a great player he is. He got himself booked for leaving that reducer on Romeo Lavia, which is very, very welcome because as the Liverpool fans were singing, he could have won the league, but instead he went to the bridge. And for our defense, I mean, what do we even say for the rest of them? Tsimikas looked positive, but there's just no quality there. Let's be honest. And it's not news to us because we all know that he does lack quality. He doesn't have the same sort of first team quality and experience that Andy Robbo has, and we all absolutely love him despite his few mistakes he's made this season. Trent Alexander-Arnold, on the other hand, we all know what he's capable of. That's why Real Madrid have now got their man. But yeah, not not a very memorable one from him either. The worst one was Jarrell. I mean, what happened? He scored an own goal. He committed a foul leading to that penalty. And it was just absolutely awful. You can't call him a young player anymore. You can say he's inexperienced, but the man's 22 years old. He's got to that age now where you start to think, well, we should be seeing the best of him now. But look, I won't be too harsh on him because he hasn't started that many matches. I think this is his first start since the Carabao Cup final where he started at right back. And, it was a pretty cringe-worthy performance. And, I mean, we looked so much better when Connor Bradley came on for Trent as well. Just provided that extra bit of incisiveness on the right-hand side. He doesn't do what Trent does, where he sort of sits back, waits for the ball to come, and then sweeps one into the box. He overlaps, and he's fantastic at it. Really gets behind the back, and Cucurella was having problems containing both him and Mo Salah in that left-back role. And we saw a pretty positive few touches for him. He got 3 touches in the opposition box. He got 3 successful dribbles. He made only one defensive action. He wasn't needed too much at right back because when he came on, Liverpool were dominating possession. Just couldn't do much with it in the end. As for Chiesa, I mean, I wanted him to be playing so much more than he has for Liverpool. I mean, at least still get his medal because he's now made his 5 appearances. But in the 8 minutes that he played, he only had 1 touch. 2 touches, I think, maybe 3. But the ball came to him in that box, and his first touch was horrible. He had his back to 3 Chelsea players, and he lost it, which was a shame. I'd like to see more of Chiesa. He scored at Wembley, obviously, and hasn't got many minutes at all since then. We still slate him a little bit for that Plymouth game, but he was being completely isolated in that left-hand side, and he was also against 3 defenders on that side. So let's not be too harsh on him. Would still love to see him get some more minutes, maybe a bit of a pre-season as well. Maybe this could be a little bit of an extended pre-season for him now that he's finally getting some minutes in this team that has already won the league, rendering these last few matches completely pointless. I thought Darwin did his usual of coming on looking dangerous, but that header, oh my word, that header. Can he not just get it on target at least? It was from point blank range and just nodded it wide. It was very easy. And you look to players like Darwin Núñez, a tall, mobile, athletic striker to take those chances. But same old Darwin, I'm afraid. But yeah, that was it. 3-1 at the bridge. The biggest positive from this match is now Federico Chiesa has now got a medal and a song. So despite not doing much on the pitch, he did plenty off the pitch. And, we'll look forward to next week. Liverpool will be playing at home against Arsenal. That will be terrific. 4:30 kickoff, 11th of May. at Anfield. We look forward to it. Now, I have got some more to talk about in this next part about Trent Alexander-Arnold and what his departure will mean for Liverpool. But up first, it's time for you to find out where you can get your supplements.
Your body is unique. And Global Sports Podcast Network has partnered with Bioniq, the world's most personalised supplements. Bioniq provide 100% tailor-made supplements designed to deliver precisely what your body needs at exactly the right levels to optimise your health. No guessing. So click the link in the show notes. Use the code GSPN2025 for 40% off your first month's subscription. Bioniq. Don't settle for off-the-shelf solutions made for just anybody. Get what's right for you right now.
I'll go away. So that was the first part. The second part we'll be discussing more in depth Trent Alexander-Arnold's departure from Liverpool at the end of the season. Now, he's been at the club for 20 years. We don't really need to do much of an introduction for him, but he's leaving with the Premier League title medal. Where do I start? We knew this was coming, firstly. Out of the three players, this was the one that, A, we were most certain he was going to leave, and B, probably wanted to leave the most. Because he just didn't really fill me with the same passion this season. Other than that celebration at Leicester, where he scored the goal, silenced the booing in the away end, and took his shirt off, had his shirt hung up on the corner flag. I just haven't seen the same Trent passion. He hasn't got the same fire, and he kind of is less bothered about his legacy with Liverpool. And now we see that he's left now. I'm not buying this whole he's won everything, he has the right to leave. Because the reason he's won everything is because he's with a club that can win him everything, and he's a key part of that club. So this is not an individual sport. This is a team sport. And I know the Liverpool players will all be, expecting this to come. They definitely knew more than we did as fans. But, I mean, as the vice-captain in his first season with Arne Slot, for him to just leave at the end when he really doesn't need to, and he was apparently offered some big numbers to stay, I don't get it. Because if you're from Liverpool, it means more to win something with Liverpool than other players. I mean, we've seen Owen McManaman. They left Liverpool and they were from the area and from the club at a young age. What you could say about them is they left at a time where Liverpool were a lot worse. Even Gerrard, when he was about to leave and was absolutely hated by Liverpool fans, he stayed in the end, but it was at a time where it would have been a lot more reasonable for them to leave because of, from their own perspectives, because the club was just not what it is now at this present moment. Most successful club in England again. Won all of these trophies recently, won the Premier League again this year, look to be challenging again next year. What I don't get is why you would swap all that for Real Madrid, a team that is full of egos and is struggling at the moment. They're currently getting a new manager in. It's probably going to be Xavi Alonso, which really hurts. But they have a bit of an issue with all of these stars and celebrities in their team that are kind of in it for themselves. They're a team of individuals, and it's just not working. I understand the appeal. Look, they're the most successful club in the world, but you've already got it all at Liverpool. So you're going to be back in the Champions League next season. This club's only going to get better under Arne Slot and these young players such as McAllister, Szoboszlai, Gravenberch in that midfield. Salah's just signed for 2 more years. Van Dijk's just signed for 2 more years. Why would you not want to be a part of that? I get it. Look, I get it. 20 years at this club. That's a long, long time. And he's won everything. But this is your legacy. This is the club that you grew up supporting. I don't get why that's not enough. But anyway, he's off now. We all expected it. what are we going to do? Is it going to be Connor Bradley to come through and become the new starting right back? I personally still think he's a bit injury prone, but if he can stay free of injuries, and we'll have Gomez coming back for next season if he doesn't leave as the fullback backup. We'll have Stefan Bajcetic maybe coming back next season. We've seen him fill in at right back. We've seen Calvin Ramsey coming back from loan at Kilmarnock. We've even got Lucas Stevenson, who's on loan at Dundee. I just think, do we need a new right back? Maybe. These players that are backup, are they good enough to be the backup right back? So, will we go in for Frimpong? I personally can't see it happening. It's an interesting time. This summer is probably the most transfers I expect in a summer for a long, long time. All this talk about Darwin and Diaz going off to Saudi Arabia. Maybe Trent is trying to get out because he knows that there's going to be more confusion at this time. But, I mean, as a vice captain, surely you should not be fazed by that, especially if you adore this club as much as he said he does in the past. Anyway, that's enough for this part, I think. I've talked about Trent Alexander-Arnold for a long, long time, and a lot of different podcasts. If you know about, if you're a regular listener to the Global Sports Podcast Network, and someone else who is the same is Karl Kopach. You'll hear from him next, but first it's time for you to find out what we use to record our podcasts here at the Global Sports Podcast Network. Here at the Global Sports Podcast Network, we spent a lot of time selecting our delivery platform. Zencastr came out as the clear winner. With 4K video recording from your phone, AI editing that automatically removes all those ums and ahs, it's super easy to start a podcast that sounds great and is delivered efficiently. If you're ready to tell your story, check out the link in the description to learn more about Zencastr.
Hello, this is Karl. Well, big news today is, while I was in Liverpool, Trent Alexander-Arnold announced that he'd be leaving the club when his contract expires, and obviously the world's gone a bit, the red world has gone a bit mad about it, and there's all sort of takes, and they're all emotional takes, and I can understand every single one of them, but my own approach would be fine. To be honest, I get it. I get why he wants to go. We always talk about how important it is that footballers be seen as humans, despite the fact that their lives are completely, thousands of miles from what we do, and in terms of wages, lifestyle, protection, and things like that. It's a completely different headspace for them to be in. But ultimately they are human, and Trent's been at Liverpool. I'm going to talk about all three options here, by the way, so I'm not defending him as such. He's been at Liverpool since he was 6, and he'll be 27 in October. And to go to the same buildings every day for 20 odd years, literally since he was 6 years old. I was 6 in 1974. Then, I'm not 26, but, to go and then just think, I'm doing the same season, and he wants to develop, and this is my only problem with it, because is he going to do as well at Real Madrid as he's doing for Liverpool? Are Real Madrid going to do as well as they are, as Liverpool look likely to do at the moment? But I'll come to that. He's been here for so long, and sometimes you just think, if someone had said to me, when I'm just thinking about my last job, the one, I love my job at the moment, the one I had before this 10, 12 years ago, I absolutely hated. And if someone said, if people were angry because I wanted to leave that job, and God, I wanted to leave that job, then I'd be a bit sort of, you don't walk in my shoes. We're not walking in Trent's shoes. That's my first reaction. He can go if he wants. It's fine. We're not going to tie him down. And it's not as if he hasn't done anything for the club. He's literally rewritten the right back role while winning 2 leagues and a European Cup for Liverpool, and pretty much every domestic club several times in front of that thing. How many times have you won the FA Cup? Just once. But but and done all that. So he's won everything for us, and if he was sort of on the brink of coming up, and then he went to Real Madrid, and they won everything with them, yes, I'd be annoyed at that. Michael Owen, I'd be annoyed at that. But I don't. He's won everything with us, and all he can do with us is win everything again. But he's moved on. He's got a right to do that. He wants to try something else, and fair enough. If I'd been stuck at my old job, God, I wouldn't be here today, honestly. The other side of that is him going without a fee. He could have done something about that. I think the club... No, I think the clubs, plural, are culpable in that. Real Madrid obviously have a strategy where they're trying to say, just hold on, and we'll give you a massive signing-on fee. Just make sure Liverpool don't ask a fee for us, and it'll be in your best interest. And he's done that by the sound of things. I can't really get on with the idea of people blaming him for planning this out after... he famously was offered a 5 or 6 year contract and he took a 4. It's up to him. It's completely up to him. He's an employee. He can do that. And I think he always wanted to go abroad at some point, and he's doing it when he's 27, not when he's 21. So I'm fine with that. And it's up to the club this as well. If the club wanted to play hardball, they could say, right, well, if you don't sign in 2 years, we'll sell you to someone else. We will sell you. And they could have done that, but they didn't. So I've got no problem for that. I've got some problems with him doing a video about how much he loves Liverpool. It's a weird situation. I'll never understand those videos where, God, I love you, I love everything about you. While they're literally stepping on a plane to go and play for someone else. I find that a bit weird, but he's got it. This is the age, isn't it? You do that sort of thing apparently these days. The other emotions are people are furious with him. I can see why, and I can see why not why. One thing a friend of mine said today, I've just seen him say it online, and I think this sums it up perfectly. And I've said this all the way through this. This is not Michael Owen and Steve McManaman, because they were the best players in a team that was pretty poor. And if they go, everything goes out the window. Famously with Michael Owen, we had quite a poor team afterwards in the league, and then we won the Champions League in the same season with a new manager. Trent, I think he's the best right back in the world. I've been saying that for a while, but it's not as if we're losing 70% of our firepower with him going. The other two lads are staying. We've got a new manager who's literally won the league with someone else's team. He hasn't even set a foot into the transfer window, and I'm saying that this is the sort of player I want. So we get an opportunity to have a look at that. See what he wants to do. We also get the drama ends now as well. I mean, we've got Alisson's contract to go, Canate's contract to go. But I think they're. I think if he wants to go to Paris, I think he would have gone. I think Alisson is pretty much nailed on to stay anyway. So that drama's gone. We can concentrate on retaining the league. And the Trent thing is now over. It's different for me. For the Michael Owen thing. For those who don't remember, the thing that annoyed me more than anything else, and he's one of the few players I think if I bumped into now, I'd turn my back, just because he kept saying in his final season, don't worry, I'm going to sign, I'm going to sign, I'm going to sign, I'm going to sign. New manager comes in, I'm off. And we got 8 million and Tony Nunes, who was awful. And that's an underhand thing to do. And he was our best player, and he absolutely shafted us. Turns out it didn't, because we won the European Cup. But, and McManaman, I've got some sympathies with McManaman, because we did try and sell him for 12 million quid to Barcelona without telling him, so we could fund the new, weirdly, the new academy, which Trent would have been a part of, in 2004. We sold McManaman before that, but Steve McManaman went on a free to Real Madrid and won European Cups and things like that, so that's fair enough from his point of view. But there was a thing years ago in his last season that someone saw him get off a bus and just about to go to the ground for a match, and he was wearing his club blazer, and apparently, I've not seen it, but apparently he had a Real Madrid badge on while he was still a Liverpool player. That's go. I don't want anything to do with that at all. Trent is different because he's never actually said, yes, I'm signing a contract, so he's not Michael Owen, and obviously his best mate plays for Real Madrid as well, but he's never once said. Yeah, I respect it when he said on the pitch at Leicester, that I'm not speaking about my thing because I'm not speaking about my situation, and that's not going to change. So I can't hate him. He's not let me down because he's not said otherwise, which is a bit of an odd thing. So broadly, I'm fine with it. I think it's good that he gets a chance to go. and we get to put this whole thing to bed, and we get to concentrate on being Liverpool again, because that's the most important thing for me. It's all about when a big player goes, what happens after that. So when Suarez went, and there was lots of, and I did podcasts in 2014, 15, certainly, when Suarez was going, well, we get to reinvest and we get to see, but we bought shite. And that wasn't good. It's the health of the club after the big name has gone. Keegan went, so we got Dalglish and we did better. Torres went and we got Suarez and we did briefly better for a bit. Trent goes, we've still got a team that's just won the league. And I don't think that changes anything that much. And it's interesting to see who they're going to bring in. The fun thing is an option thing is a problem, because if he goes, he gets 80, 90 million, that goes straight on someone who's going to be really, really good. Or not, if you're FSG, and where you stand on that, I don't know. But the club is still in rude health. I don't think that it's not a body blow for the club, I think. It's a body blow for us because we don't get to see Trent play at Anfield anymore. And slightly worse for me is I don't get to like Trent that much anymore, because no, it's not that. That's unfair. It's not that I don't like Trent anymore. It's that he's now become irrelevant more than anything else. I don't really care how he's doing for Real Madrid. I'm certainly not going to be checking Real Madrid's performances, results to see how he's getting on and if he scores. Well, it's like Harry Kane. I don't really care, to be honest, how well they're doing abroad, because I can't see it and it doesn't affect me. He doesn't play for my team anymore. So it depends what they're going to do. It'll be interesting to see if he gets on the pitch again. I think he will, but I personally wouldn't have Trent on the pitch. But apparently he told the manager that he was going to go in March, and he has been on the pitch since then. And famously, he relegated Leicester for the second time by scoring that goal. So he probably will get on the pitch, but I don't really see the point in getting him fit for Real Madrid when we've got Conor Bradley, who needs minutes and needs to learn a position a little bit more. And the more you play Conor, the better. And that's another reason why I'm not too bothered about it, because I absolutely love Conor Bradley. I love how much he comes inside. And yes, he's young and he's a bit raw and he gets caught occasionally, but this is a good time. Play three. We've got 3 friendlies to play, so play him in all 3 of them, see how we get on, and leave Trent to his own devices. I can't hate Trent. I just can't do it. I think because he's just given us so much joy, won every single thing. And I know this is just a personal thing for me, but he's also Scouse and he's from the same postcode as my mum. I was in the postcode where he was born today. And it means a lot to me. And obviously McManaman and Scouse, obviously, and Michael Owen was border Scouse, but it just means a lot to me that that someone... I wrote this years ago and said, it's a lad who... when he famously took the corner against Barcelona, the corner taking quickly thing, I said, there's a lad who's just beaten Real Madrid he's beaten Barcelona on his own, and he's got a working knowledge of the Eaton Road fish bar. That means something. If Trent's from over the road from you, you get behind him a bit. And I think he's a decent enough lad. I've got no problem with him going. I don't think he's been underhand. I think they're not getting a fee thing. I can understand why people know that, but ultimately, Liverpool are going to be okay, and that's literally the only thing that matters. Liverpool are going to be okay, and is he going to come back? Well, he can't really come back in his 30s as a fullback. That's not going to work. But he might come back later on as a central midfielder or something like that. But he's done all right by me, so I can't hate him. I will say this though: if I see any coverage of people burning Liverpool shirts with his name on, I'd rather you didn't listen to me or read anything I wrote. I hate that sort of performative nonsense. But there we go. We got 3 contracts. They're all over. All the contract thing is, the saga is over. We got 2 of them done. One of them, the one we thought we were never going to get, we never got. And it's not really news. It hits home a little bit now because it's real and it's all happened and what have you. But Liverpool always come first, and Liverpool are going to be okay. That's my view anyway. Up the champions.
You've been listening to the Daily Liverpool and Daily Premier League in English podcasts on the Global Sports Podcast Network. Take care, and I'll see you again soon.
Every club, every day. The Global Sports Podcast Network.